Good evening on what is a warm, bright and sunny day. It is Tuesday the 7th of May and I'm in the reading nook with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. What I'm going to pull out of here is this, which is 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, an adventure path for Pathfinder 2nd edition. Essentially one of the first adventure paths for the new adjusted edition of the 2nd edition of Pathfinder. So, back to where it all began. The town of Sandpoint has seen its more than its fair share of dangers over the years, including harrowing fires, prolific serial killers, goblin raids and attacks by giants and dragons. But now the so-called Light of the Lost Coast faces its greatest threat yet. Something sinister has been manipulating events all along, and a new band of heroes must step in to save this legendary small town from 7 deadly dooms. Return to the town where it all began with the 7 Dooms for Sandpoint Adventure Path, a full campaign for 4th to 11th characters that's presented in its entirety in this super-sized volume. Now, adventure paths have been with us perhaps for, I'm trying to think, 20 years or so now, going back all the way to the Shackled City adventure path, the Age of Worms, and the Rising Savage Tide adventure paths, which appeared in the pages of Dungeon Magazine, and then of course with the Rise of the Rune Lords adventure path series proper, published itself by Paizo. Now these presented sort of like mini campaigns that sort of like well actually would in their collected issues would become complete campaigns, typically in 6 issues or volumes for the ones directly from Paizo, especially for what would have been 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons, 3.5, and then Pathfinder. There were multiple more parts of the scenarios for the earlier ones for Shackled City and Rising Tide and Age of Worms. So let's have a look at this. This one is much slimmer than I imagine. It's actually probably more shorter, and I think they've actually been sort of slimming these down. But we open up and we've got the fantastic illustration of inside the front cover of Sandpoint. It's a really terrific one, and there we have credits and contents page and campaign overview. There's going to be 9 chapters in all. Got a list of all the key names. It's down here. A table of the campaign timeline here, and then a breakdown of the particular chapters. So 7 Dooms for Sandpoint, again with this fantastic artwork, and then chapter 1, Bone and Ashes. Not very much to see here, but we're going to find something interesting, I'm sure, including Glaucus. Essentially looks like to be almost like an undead goblin there, so emaciated, vile little thing. Just describing the locations given earlier in this map, essentially, which is where the action for this part of the scenario is taking place. A bit of box text for dissenting opinions upon what's going on. You will encounter spirit there. This is we're into chapter 2 actually. Let's see, which is Strange Times in Sandpoint, and that wasn't quite clear, the changeover. And there you've actually got shots of the couple of the classic characters from the signature characters from the original campaign Rise of the Rune Lords, who appeared again and again in the artwork for Pathfinder. So I think you've got like a fighter, a warrior there, and guessing the cleric. So lots of NPCs to interact with here. It's not just a straight dungeon bash, but there's some investigation and so on to carry out. And we're into chapter 3, Whistles in the Dark. And this takes place on Whistle Fang Ledge. Going all the way down. And there we are, having reached the bottom, you're into the Whistle Fang lair. And encountering more of those grotty little goblins. Chapter 4, Footprints on the Roof. And then we've got the Sandpoint, the Shrine of the Sandpoint Dells, another dungeon. Achieving an encounter with whispers from long ago. An encounter with a creature. What is that? I guess that's a remnant Insurreal. Vile looking thing. The Clone Works. So this is part of Shadows at Midnight. Chapter 5. Just flipping forward. Encounter there with Ziradini, who is a male Darrow cleric. Pillbug's Pantry. Basically, we've got an urban location into this one. And there's stats for Pillbug himself. Chapter 6, to raise the devil. Again, there's the signature cleric facing some kind of undead creature. So looking a bit like a strider, but not. So basically it's a drider. Chapter 7, Pattern of Killings. And we've got the location, Lyra LaRue's Clockworks. Encounter with that is Church's Jeed, a fighter. Might encounter a friendly genie at Here they discover the 5th doom, and basically, progress is being made, having captured the previous dooms, where corpse light glows. Chapter 8. And there you've got the fighter facing off against some vile creature with basically needles, claws. Takes place in the Devil's Lair and the Temple of Kabiri, where there is a spectral devil and a ghoulish sanctuary, where there are ghast cultists. So let's just see. Okay, the Red Bishop's Gift. There's a visit from Scarhorn, Black Dragon. So 4 stats for him, and a location of Grubber's Hermitage. There's an abandoned village. And automatically think when they say Gruber, I've got 2 choices there. There's Hans Gruber, as in the Bruce Willis film, and then of course there's Mr. Gruber from Paddington Bear. But that's just me. So you've got various locations on this island. So there's a bit of a small wilderness to explore, nothing too extensive. Fallen Church, Fallen Church to explore, and I meant the film is Die Hard, of course. But it would be hilarious if it was Mr. Gruber, the antiques dealer. And that brings everything to a close, with a big battle, and concluding the adventure. And I've gone off at a tangent, of course. But we do have advice on continuing the campaign. And then there's some background on a doomed town, of course, which is Sandpoint. So you've got the background there for the benefit of the game master, and how to bring that into play. Basically there's options there for living in Sandpoint, so the player characters could actually just be residents who are caught up in what's going on. So all the locations are described. Important ones, of course. And then we've got an adventure toolbox with this list of various elements in the campaign, things that can be found, like a clockwork songbird and a cultist owl. Sorry, cultist cowl. I do want it to be a cultist owl, though, don't you? So various items. And notes on the 7 dooms. Quick summary there. And then researching 8th doom. And you've got new monsters, including the Clockwork Serpent, and a Colossus Demon or Fly Demon. And a Fungus Tyrant. Ugh. Should get you up properly. There we go. Then full stats and details on Canker, and you'll be the chief villain, I'm presuming, and the Red Bishop, basically the major players in this plot. And then you've got a bit of advertising really for other Pathfinder products. And you have that nice view of Pathfinder, sorry, of Sandpoint, and you have a map of Sandpoint. So there we go, here we go. This is in the back of the book. That's very nice. And then you've got Sandpoint Hinterlands, so you've got a wilderness location as well. These will be familiar essentially from over the years of really a couple of things. Pathfinder in general, because you know Sandpoint has been visited again and again. From the Pathfinder card game as well, because that's where it's set. My one grumble would be, okay, I like having the map. It would have been nice if they'd actually just numbered the locations on this map, so that the game master doesn't have to get that map out and unfold the poster, and it would have made that just sort of like a bit more utilitarian rather than you know, relying upon this map. So that is 7 Dooms of Sandpoint, a complete mini campaign adventure path for Pathfinder 2nd edition. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, or in this case, an adventure path for Pathfinder 2nd edition, which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by what is now the very last dregs of a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook, and we'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.